Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists social media influencers with management contract issues. So, you're an influencer, growing your brand, continuing to increase followers. Maybe you have some smaller, endorsement contracts with some providers. And at some point, you're thinking, all right, I need some kind of agency, an agent, a manager to assist me in kind of growing my brand and essentially and eventually making more money. So for the rest of this, I'm just going to group everything into the term manager. So an agency, an agent, management company. I'm just going to call them all a manager, kind of for ease of discussion here. So in a management contract, it's going to dictate the terms and the relationship between the influencer and the manager. So absolutely do not just have some kind of verbal agreement with the manager. There needs to be a contract that dictates the terms. And so the basic terms in any influencer manager contract are going to be how long it lasts, how the contract can be terminated, what the responsibilities are of the manager and of the influencer, how much the manager is going to get paid, and then what happens after the contract is terminated, because there are going to be some things that the influencer is not going to like after the contract is terminated. So let's just kind of do a basic review of each of those terms. So first, how long they last. Anywhere between 1 to 5 years. There will be some kind of clause in every contract that states the agreement can be terminated without cause, meaning for any reason at any time, but there'll be a certain amount of notice to the other party. So somewhere between 30 to 90 days would be a normal amount. Now, to be honest, in an influencer manager relationship, once the influencer decides to fire the manager, even though they have to give them notice, most of the time, there's not going to be any kind of new interaction between the manager bringing the influencer new business. But in a scenario where that occurs, the contract would continue on until whenever that notice period expires. Then after that notice period expires, then the contract is officially terminated. As far as the roles and responsibilities between the manager and the talent, you need to know, all right, what is this manager going to do for me? Their job essentially is to have connections within the industry, find sponsors, endorsement opportunities, bring them to the influencer, determine whether the influencer is interested, and then negotiate the deal. As far as payment goes, it's on a percentage basis. So the manager will get paid usually somewhere between 15 to 30%, 20% is kind of the industry norm of whatever the influencer brings in. So if there is $1,000, IG post, the manager is going to get 200 of that, and then the influencer takes the rest. It's not seen as an extreme amount. 20 is pretty standard. Now, it is negotiable. There's no set terms that dictate what a manager or an influencer can charge. Now, there are some industry standards for actors and actresses and members of guilds or unions or things like that. But in this scenario, almost no influencers are dictated by state law, and therefore the manager and the influencer can kind of figure out how much they want to charge. Now, after the contract is terminated, there's one big thing to think about. There will be a clause that says any deal that was brought to the influencer by the manager will still have to pay a percentage of that deal to the manager, even after the contract is terminated for a period of time, usually 12 months. Meaning, even though you've fired your manager, they're still going to get paid for anything they brought to you for, as I said before, a 12-month period. So for some influencers, they think, all right, well, that's not fair that I've fired them and they still get to make money off of me. But from the manager perspective, they don't want to bring a deal to an influencer and then that influencer kind of go behind their back or attempt to get out of having to pay the manager the fee. Now, there will also be some kind of exclusive management clause in the contract that states even if the influencer brings in the deal, meaning if a company contacts them directly, maybe a friend comes to them with an opportunity or another influencer, in any of those scenarios, if they have an exclusive management clause, which very likely will, they still have to bring that deal to the manager, and the manager is still going to get 20% of that, even though they effectively had nothing to do with bringing in the deal. That's just how the industry works. It might be a little frustrating as an influencer to have to do that. But just letting you know, in most of these management contracts, there's going to be some kind of exclusive management clause, and which will then force the influencer to hand over kind of any deal making to their manager. So those are the basics of what kind of goes into an influencer management contract. If you have any questions about your influencer management contract or any concerns, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website, ChelleLaw.com. If this video is helpful, please like, subscribe to the channel. We release videos every single day. All right, appreciate it. Thanks.